My name is Clint Francis. I'm a sales and mindset coach for business. Today, I want to talk about something that's really important when you're dealing with employees. I always say correct bad behavior in private, point out good behavior in public. So, what do I mean by this? A lot of times when I worked on the sales floor in different organizations, when something bad would happen, an employee, a salesperson would make a mistake, the manager would yell at that person in front of everybody. And what does that do? It demoralizes, it puts the salesperson in a bad mood. Whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's just not a smart thing to do. It seems like common sense, but I saw this happen a lot. So the best thing to do is if you want to talk to an employee who's made a mistake or is doing some type of behavior that's not correct, take them aside, take them privately, and do it in a way where you're calmed down. A lot of times we get angry with employees when they make mistakes, but you have to calm yourself down and just tell the person what they did wrong and what your expectations are in the future. And if you get the opportunity, if a salesperson makes a big sale or they save a sale from going bad, from possible return or something like that, it's best to point out the good behavior or the victory in public in front of everybody. And this takes some practice and work. And I would actually sit down and write a little bit of a script of what you're going to say and what I would say in detail about when you're pointing out good behavior or a victory that a salesperson or anybody does. It doesn't have to be a salesperson, but anybody in your organization when they do a good job. You want to be specific about what they did and how it helped the company. That's really important. If you just say, "Oh, Mike did a great job the other day with that client," it's pretty vague. It doesn't really have the impact. So when you're pointing out good behavior or victory in an employee, the best thing you want to do is to be specific. For example, "Hey, Mike, that was great how you saved that sale. I heard the client was going to return the product, but because you explained the warranty correctly and they really understood they didn't have a risk, they didn't refund it. Thank you." You can put in whatever the situation is. So you want to be specific in your compliment. This is really important in life so people know how they impacted you or they impacted the company, how what they did was positive specifically. And then that's also going to engender more of that behavior. You're feeding that, so people are going to want to do a better job. So coming back to when you have to correct people, when you take them aside privately and you correct their behavior and you bring up what you would like to see and how the behavior would change, if you get no pushback and they agree, great. But if they push back, sometimes employees think that what they did was correct. You just have to say, "Look, this is what I need you to do. Now, what do you think is going to happen if you don't do what I ask you to do?" And this, just like when you ask for the sale, don't say anything, be quiet, be silent. And they'll probably say, "Well, you're probably going to have to fire me." And you say, "Correct, I will." So you want to get it to come out of their mouth so you can say, "What do you think is going to happen if you keep doing what you obviously think is correct?" "Well, I'll probably get fired." Right. So these are just some quick tips. And I know this sounds like common sense, but blew me away how many times I would see a hot-headed, angry manager come onto the sales floor when we're just starting a shift or in the middle of a shift and go ballistic. I've even had a manager, when I was working with a customer, come up and start chewing me out and telling me I wasn't doing my sales presentation right. It was my first job, I'll give you that. But you don't want to correct your employees on the sales floor. And I know this sounds completely crazy, but it has happened to me. And all I did was just let her do it. And then I kept going like nothing happened. And then the customer, when the buying decision was coming, I said, "So you want to go ahead and get it?" And they almost felt like, "Yeah, I want to get it," because they felt so embarrassed for me. And so it was kind of a funny thing looking back on it, but it was something you don't want to do. So just to review, correct your employees' mistakes in private, praise or congratulate the salesperson, in front of the group or in front of people. And whatever you do, don't try to save a sale of a new employee by going up and teaching them how to do a presentation correctly in the middle of a presentation with their client. All right. If you got value out of this video, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you have any subjects you'd like for me to talk about in the future, put them in the comments below. This is Clint Francis, Sales and Mindset Coach. Have a great day.